Hello from the Glossary of Empowerment. Fractal. The holographic manifestation of light as it enters the material world and illuminates its true nature. A fractal is an endlessly repeating natural pattern that is maintained throughout the universe regardless of scale. For instance, the microscopic patterns within the membranes of cells in the human body are similar to those observed across the landscape of the Earth when viewed from space. Similarly, the geometric laws that govern galactic nebulae are visually replicated when you slice a fruit in half. The more deeply you realize the fractal nature of reality, the more embodied and loving you become. Every act you make in life generates a fractal wave pattern that affects all creatures in the universe. Through a process of continual evolutionary feedback, you can refine your life to such a point that you are in complete resonance with every fractal aspect of the universe. So, the very first thing mentioned in there is light. The understanding of what a fractal is it's a pattern within the field of light in which we live. It's not just a pattern, it is the pattern. It is the pattern that endlessly repeats and repeats, but in new forms, always in new forms, and that is the evolutionary impulse. It's always creating new patterns in the Maya, in the illusion of time and space. So, but it also mentions there about our act, every act, generates a wave pattern within the fractal field. So we are creating the fractals. We are creators. We ultimately can change and shape the universe through our acts, through our thoughts, through our deeds, through our presence. And everything generates a fractal pattern around itself, like an echo of its signature that then travels on out into space. So the more we purify our thinking, the more we turn our thoughts and our contemplative inquiry to the divine, to the higher, beautiful aspects of life, to what we are, to those cities, those higher states, then the more we create and generate a fractal pattern through our aura out into the world that then comes back to us, and it places us in a harmony with the higher fractal patterns of the cosmos. Just as when we are out of sync with the fractal patterns of the cosmos, then we create an interference wave pattern that then comes back to us. So it's very simple. It's very simple and very beautiful. And mentioned in there also is a couple of examples of, like, when you slice a fruit in half, and you'll see certain patterns in that fruit. And then if you look at the greatest, the widest things in the cosmos, you're going to see similar replicating patterns in the cosmos. So it is imprinted everywhere. Sometimes a bit remarkable, it seems to me, that science hasn't quite grasped the import of this yet. That these patterns found in nature at every level of scale are the same patterns. Because what that does is it tells you something very profound. It tells you that we live in a holographic universe. And that has all manner of implications. So science has begun to suggest those things and explore those things. But until science is able to interlock its many fields, and work across many fields together, it's not going to fully be able to synthesize, all those views and then see the wider view that's at work. You know, that can sometimes be the problem with specialization. It gets too into its own field and its own little world, and then misses the bigger picture. But we'll get there. How can we not? We are the pattern, looking at the pattern. And part of the destiny of the pattern is to see itself in all its beauty. Yeah, so something to contemplate.